Alright, welcome back. Welcome back to part 4 of solving the problem where we are working on understanding the answers, finding zeros by factoring, and we're using the quadratic equation formula in order to do that. So in leaving off on the last video, part 3, we determined we had to manually simplify this radical, okay? Because if you punch in your calculator the square root of 96, you'd end up with a bunch of decimals, right? And there are no decimals in the A, B, C, D option. And again, this makes this a very difficult problem. So I'm just going to take 96. I'm going to break it down to its simplest form in what I call expanded form. I know there's some other math terms I just can't remember on the top of my head right now, but 96 can be divided by 2. And when I divide 92 into 96, I get 48. So I know that 2 times 48 is 96. Now I'm going to break down 48 to its simplest forms. I know it's an even number. I can divide 2 into 48. 48 divided by 2 gives me 24. So 2 times 24 gives me 48. Well, another even number, I can divide 2 into 24, and that gives me 12. And that's 2 times 12 gives me 24. So another even number, 12, I'm going to divide 2 into 12. 12 divided by 2 is 6. So 2 times 6 equals 12. Another even number, I'm going to divide 2 into 6. And I know that 2 times 3 is 6. So I'm going to stop here. And I know that 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 will give me 96. So I can substitute all of those products, or multiples of 2 and a 3, for 96 inside the radical. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2's and a 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2's and a 3. Now, I need 2 perfect pairs. I think I'm going to show you that here in a moment. I need 2 perfect pairs just to pull out one value. And whatever you pull outside of the radical, you're going to multiply times the value outside the radical here. And in our example, there's an invisible I. I'm sorry. There's an I with an invisible 1 in front of it. Right? So look up my videos on invisible ones. That's going to help you. So I'm going to multiply 2 times 1. Here's another perfect pair of 2's. I'm going to multiply 2 times 2 times 1. And that gives me 4i. I'm left with 2 loners inside the radical. And that means 2 times 3 is 6. So I'm going to have 6 left inside that radical. Let's take a look. What does that look like? I want to show, and again, if I'm going too fast, please stop, pause, rewind, whatever you need to do to catch up. You can stop, pause, rewind these videos. So I wanted to show you what that looked like, right? I need a perfect pair to pull out one value. A perfect pair to pull out one value in a square root, right? In a cube root, you would need 3 of the same thing just to pull out one value. But we're going to stick with the square root. Again, 2 2's, I can pull out 1 2. 2 2's, I can pull out 1 2. The 2 and 3 are left inside. That's 2 times 3 is 6 inside the radical. 2 times the invisible 1i is 4. 4 times 1 is 4i. Okay, that was kind of a little side street we needed to go down to continue to simplify. So I can replace that square root of 96 with 4 times I times the radical, or the square root of 6. And that's what all I'm going to do from that last step in video 3. I'm just going to replace the square root of 96 with 4i, 4 times I times the square root of 6. And that's all that I'm going to do in this next step, right? So here's where I left off on video 3. I'm going to replace the 96 with 4i times the square root of 6. That's all I'm going to do. Everything else, negative. I'm sorry. Yeah, the negative 1 times a negative 2 plus and minus divided by 2 times 5. That all is just going to be rewritten from the first, I'm sorry, from where I left off on video number 3, right? Everything else is rewritten, right? So all I did is I substituted that I times the square root of 96 with 4I times the square root of 6. Everything else should look exactly the same. And there's that invisible 1. That's an invisible negative 1. I'm going to distribute that times the negative 2. So a negative 1 times a negative 2 is a positive 2. Okay. And then I can also simplify by multiplying 2 times 5. So I'm going to take everything else and rewrite it. Negative 1 times a negative 2 is a positive 2. I rewrite the plus and minus, the 4i, square root of 6. 2 times 5 is 10. But wait, no, 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 we're not finished. I mean, I don't know, this little guy is how I feel. We're not finished yet. Why? Because we can reduce and we can simplify to get our final answer. Okay, I don't want to rush this. I'm going to take this slow. I'm going to create a video part 5 to finish this problem. And so hopefully this has been helpful for you. Please like, follow, and share these videos. Part 5, I will finish showing you how to simplify this answer to find the correct answer, A, C, or D, I think it was. Because A, C, or E, because we eliminated B and D with that test taking strategy. So stick around. I'm going to get this question answered for you for video part 5. And even if you had to guess, you got 2 questions eliminated. You'll have a 1 out of 3 or 33% chance of just guessing it right. So math is easy. Take it step by step. Stick around. Part 5 video around the corner.